السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه ومن والاه. Today, inshallah, we will be talking about the fourth Islamic doctrine, which is the HANBALI Doctrine, المذهب الحنبلي. As usual, we will be shedding light on the main seven elements. That is the founder, Imam AHMAD ibn Hanbal, his sheikhs and his prominent students, his works, the books he has compiled, then followed by the fundamentals of the Hanbali doctrine and also the stages of the Hanbali doctrine, and finally the most important books. The main reference point in the Hanbali doctrine is Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. He is considered as the founder and the man behind the Hanbali methodology. The full and official name of Imam Ahmad is Abu Abdullah Ahmad ibn Muhammad ibn Hanbal ibn Hilal ibn Asad al-Shaybani al-Marwazi. Imam Ahmad was born in Iraq, particularly in Baghdad, in the year of 164 Hijriya. He was raised also in Iraq, and he passed away in Iraq as well in year 241 Hijriya. Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal took knowledge from a number of prominent scholars. The most famous are Al-Qadi Abu Yusuf, the famous Qadi and the great student of Al-Imam Abu Hanifa rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. He also took knowledge from Waqi' ibn al-Jarrah, and Waqi' is the scholar to whom Al-Imam al-Shafi'i complained to him regarding his memorizing issue when he saw the aura of that lady. And he advised him with that great advice in the poetry. شكوت إلى وكيع سوء حفظ فأرشدني إلى ترك المعاصي وأخبرني بأن العلم نور ونور الله لا يؤتى لعاصٍ. Imam Ahmad also took knowledge from Sufyan ibn Uyayna, and we've earlier mentioned that Sufyan ibn Uyayna is one of the 13 scholars who were qualified to have their own independent doctrine, but unfortunately it did not materialize. Imam Ahmad also took knowledge from Abu Dawud al-Tayalisi. Abu Dawud al-Tayalisi is a great and famous hadith scholar, and he is the one who compiled the famous Musnad al-Tayalisi. Imam Ahmad also took knowledge from Naim ibn Hamad, and many more prominent scholars. Regarding his students, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal had the privilege to groom and to teach one of the greatest muhaddithin of the Ummah. And that is exactly Al-Imam al-Bukhari rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, and also Al-Imam Muslim. So these great hadith scholars were students of Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Also, Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal had the possibility to groom and to prepare his own children to become scholars. That's why both of his sons, Salih and Abdullah, Salih ibn Ahmad ibn Hanbal and Abdullah ibn Ahmad ibn Hanbal, were his prominent students, and later they became also prominent scholars. Other students of Imam Ahmad include Al-Kirmani, and also Ishaq ibn Hani, and also Abu Zur'a al-Razi. I forgot to mention that Abu Zur'a al-Razi is also one of the great muhaddithin, the scholars of hadith, along with Bukhari and Muslim. So all these great scholars, especially the scholars of hadith, were students of Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Regarding his works, Al-Imam Ahmad compiled many important books in Islam. And the books are related to different Islamic fields, but they are mainly about fiqh, usul al-fiqh, and also the science of hadith. One of his famous books is Al-Musnad, which is a great hadith source, and it's one of the encyclopedias of hadith. And it is narrated that the Musnad of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal contained up to or even more than 40,000 hadiths of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He also compiles another book called Fada'ilu Sahaba, that is the virtue of the companions of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Another book is Al-Ilalu wa Ma'rifatu Rijal, the ilal and the understanding of the Rijal, or the men. And this is related to the science of hadith. It is about how to know about the men who are in the chain of the narration of the hadith. He also compiled another book also called Al-Asami wal-Kuna, He also compiled az-zuhd, which means to abandon the dunya or the affairs of this dunya, and to or to fully focus on the akhirah and everything that benefits the human being in the hereafter. He also compiled Ar-Raddu ala Zanadiqati wal Jahmiyyah. This is a refutation to the Zanadiqa and the Jahmis. They were famous, the Zanadiqa and the Jahmis were famous in denying the attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. He also compiled another book which is called An-Nasikh wal Mansukh, and this is regarding the understanding of the Quran. The Quranic rulings which were changed by another Islamic or Quranic ruling. And this is something to be learned in the science of Quran, An-Nasikh wal Mansukh. He also compiles Al-Muqaddamu wal Mu'akharu fil Quran. He also compiles Al-Manasikul Kabir, which is basically a fiqh book. So these are, in summary, these are the books which were compiled by Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. Regarding the fundamentals of the Hanbali doctrine, they have eight fundamentals or eight sources of legislation. These are the sources which they refer to in terms of deriving the Sharia ruling or through the process of ijtihad and fatwa. And those sources are number one, Al-Quran and Sunnah. Both Al-Quran and Sunnah, and they label it or they refer to it as An-Nas, the text. So whenever the Hanbali people mention An-Nas, the text, they are referring to Quran and Sunnah. The number two is Al-Ijma', which is the consensus. Number three is Fatwa al-Sahabi, which is the doctrine or the fatwa of the Sahabi. Number four is Al-Mursalu wal-Da'ifu laysa lahu ma yadfa'uhu. Al-Hadith al-Mursal and also Al-Hadith al-Da'if, the weak hadith. Both Mursal and Da'if are to be classified as weak hadith in the science of hadith. But Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal refer to them if there's no any other authentic evidence. And this is one of the main characteristics of the Hanbali doctrine, is that they refer to a weak hadith, a weak narration, if there's no authentic evidence which can be put forward. And this is one of the indicators of why the Hanbali doctrine is mainly an athari doctrine. It is a doctrine that refers to the narrations or to the athar. They hardly choose to implement logic or the reasoning before trying to find out an evidence or an athar from the Sahabas or from the Salaf or the early generations. So in summary, the implementation of a weak hadith in fatwa or in legislation is one of the main characteristics of the Hanbali doctrine. The fifth source is Al-Qiyas, which is analogy, and the sixth is Al-Istihsan, and we have already explained it. Seven is Al-Istishab, and eight is Saddu Dhara'i'. So these are the eight sources of legislations or the eight fundamentals regarding the Hanbali doctrine. Concerning the stages of the Hanbali doctrine, the stages can be divided into four main or key historical milestones. The first stage is the stage of what we term as Qawrun Nash'ati wa Ta'sis. It is the stage in which the Hanbali doctrine was established, and that starts right from year 204 Hijriya up to 241 Hijriya, and that is exactly the life during the life of Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal. So Al-Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal started to deliver lectures, to teach, to do tadris, what is called tadris, in year 204 Hijri, and that's when he reached the age of 40. After he reached the age of 40. So during this period is considered as the period in which the Hanbali doctrine was established, and it is in this period that the students of the Imam himself started to document his opinions and his fatwas, and also different masails, different issues related to the doctrine. The second stage is the Tawrun Naqli wa Tatawwur. It is the stage in which the Hanbali doctrine started to evolve and then grow and to spread all over the Islamic world. It is also the same period in which people started to ascribe themselves to the Hanbali doctrine, and some of the fundamental sources of the doctrine were, compiled or written. And this stage particularly starts from year 241 Hijriya, and that is right after the after Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal passed away, up to year 403 Hijriya. So within this period, the Hanbali doctrine started to grow, to spread all over the world. People start to ascribe themselves to the doctrine, and also the compiling of the fundamental resources regarding the doctrine started. The third stage is طور التحرير والضبط والتنقيح, and this starts right from year 403 Hijriya up to 884 Hijriya. So in this period, what is called الترجيح or الضبط والتنقيح والترجيح, like all the narrations which were inherited from the earlier stages, were put into order, and also were revised so that the strongest opinions will be clarified. And also within this period, the qawaid or the maxims or the formulas of the Hanbali doctrine were also highlighted or established. And it is also in this period that the tarjih, which is balancing between the opinions, different opinions in the doctrine, and putting forward the one which has stronger evidence, is established as well. Also, it is in this period there's something called ظهور طبقة من المحققين والمنقحين. Some of the al-munaqqihin or al-muhaqqiqin emerged, and those are the ones who had the great capability of identifying which opinion is stronger from the different opinions regarding the madhab, and then to do the tarjih, which is to put forward the stronger opinion over the other. So basically, or in summary, in this period, which is Tawru Tahrir wa Dabt wa Tanqih, is the period in which all the opinions that were inherited from the previous stages were organized, put into order, and also revised. The fourth and the last stage is Tawrul Istiqrar. It is the stage in which the Hanbali doctrine has become something established and well grounded, and that starts right from year 885 Hijriya up to date. And it is in this period that the doctrine has become something established. Also, so many prominent scholars did efforts to summarize the doctrine, and also to explain the doctrine in details. Also, in this period, some centers, Islamic centers emerged, which were, which had the objective or the focus of trying to edit all the makhtutat, which is the manuscripts that are related to the Hanbali doctrine. And whenever this is mentioned, particularly or more specifically, it's referring to the institutions in Saudi, because nowadays Saudi is one of the main centers of the Hanbali doctrine. Regarding the most important books or the main references in the Hanbali doctrine, the books can be divided into 4 different categories. Category number 1 are books which summarize the doctrine, and that is known as al-mukhtasarat. An example of that is Mukhtasar al-Kharqi. The second category are books which explain or introduce the doctrine in a more detailed manner. An example of that is Umdatul Fiqh, also Al-Muqni', also Al-Kafi, and also Al-Muharrar fil Fiqh. The third category are the books which are a form of encyclopedia, or you can say a comparative fiqh book. Books which compare the Hanbali doctrine with other doctrines, or what is termed as Al-Fiqh al-Muqaran. An example of that is Al-Mughni of Ibn Qudama al-Maqdisi, Al-Mughni. And another example which is recent is the book of Sheikh Uthaymeen rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, which is known as Zadul Muqni' الشرح الممتع شرح زاد المستقنع. الشرح الممتع شرح زاد المستقنع. which is authored by Shaykh Uthaymeen rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. The fourth category are the Fatawa books, of the HANBALI doctrine. And the best example which one can refer to is the Fatawa of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi. So in summary, these are some of the few references or the most important books regarding the HANBALI doctrine. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.